Samsung is holding its next Unpacked livestream on August 10th, and expectations are running high. The company has used previous summer events to introduce new foldable phones, smartwatches, and earbuds, and the company has effectively confirmed a repeat for 2022. Just what will appear this time around though? Don't worry, we've got you covered with what you should expect to see at Samsung's next big event. It will be easy to follow Samsung's announcements. The company is streaming Unpacked live on August 10th at 9 a.m. Eastern. You can watch it on Samsung's website, and there's usually a broadcast on the brand's YouTube channel as well. And of course, you can expect tons of coverage, hands-ons, and more from us here at Engadget. The Galaxy Z Fold 3 is nearly a year old, so it's arguably due for an update, and Samsung's own Unpacked teasers hint that one is coming. That said, we wouldn't expect the Z Fold 4 to represent a major overhaul. If leaks are correct, the new model will represent a refinement of the marquee foldable. Rendered images shared by OnLeaks and SmartPre, as well as Evan Blass and 91 Mobiles, suggest the Z Fold 4 will mate the series' phone/tablet formula with design elements from the S22 Ultra. You get Ultra-like rear camera bumps and slightly tweaked dimensions, but it would otherwise be a very familiar device. Not that we'd rule out any functional changes. According to leaker Ice Universe, the Z Fold 4 could have a less prominent crease, which is a good thing for everybody. Performance upgrades could be more substantial though, if a bit predictable. Noted leaker Yogesh Brar says the Z Fold 4 would use the new Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip paired with either 12 gigs or 16 gigs of RAM. We're expecting to see an upgraded 50 megapixel main sensor along with a new and improved 16 megapixel UDC. That's the under display camera that goes on the Z Fold 4's main foldable display. We're also expecting to see a 12 megapixel ultra-wide sensor, along with a 3x optical zoom and a 10 megapixel selfie shooter on the front. That said, there is a dispute over the storage. While Brar maintains the Z Fold 4 will start with 256 gigs of storage, Evan Blass has discovered references to a 128 gig model. That storage question may also affect the price. While YouTuber John Prosser and others believe that the Z Fold 4 will reach stores on August 26, it's not clear how much the device will cost. A 128 gig variant could lead to a lower starting price than the $1,800 price tag we saw on its predecessor. Just don't expect higher capacities than last year when there hasn't been any mention of storage options beyond 512 gigabytes. As for the Z Flip 4, there's even less mystery to that one. Samsung's teaser video for the Unpacked event very clearly shows a new version of the clamshell phone, so it's really just a question of what the Z Flip 4 will offer compared to the previous model. Don't expect a major redesign though. If images shared by OnLeaks and Evan Blass are accurate, the Z Flip 4 looks to be a virtual carbon copy of the previous model. So you should expect a very similar rear camera setup, maybe a slightly larger exterior screen, and some new color options. Now that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it might prove a bit disappointing if you're looking for a brand new look. The less pronounced screen creasing from the Z Fold 4 might carry over too. However, the under-the-hood upgrades for the Z Flip 4 might be a little bit more subtle compared to the Z Fold 4 if rumors are accurate. Yogesh Brar claims the Z Flip 4 would make the leap to a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip, but would still feature just 8 gigs of RAM and up to 256 gigs of non-expandable storage and a 6.7-inch 120Hz display. You'd also get a larger 3700 mAh battery compared to 3300 mAh on the Z Flip 3 and 25-watt charging, so the Z Flip 4 might last a little bit longer. The previous phone's dual 12 megapixel rear cameras and 10 megapixel selfie camera also look to be carried over to the new model. As for a potential release date, Samsung typically releases both versions of its new foldables on the same day, so we're expecting to see the Z Flip 4 also come out on August 26th. If so, the only big question left is price. There's no certainty that the Flip 4 will stick to the previous model's $999 price tag. However, if there is a 128 gig model, we wouldn't expect the latest device to be much more expensive, if anything at all. Moving on to new watches. The Galaxy Watch 4 marked a revival of Samsung's smartwatch strategy with its switch to Wear OS and a sleeker design. And it looks like the company could be eager to preserve that momentum as there are signs it's readying the Galaxy Watch 5 family with a few new twists. If 91 Mobile's shared renders are authentic, Samsung will drop its higher-end classic model in favor of a more modern-looking, if still posh, Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. You might not get the knurled bezel of the previous smartwatch, but the Pro would upgrade from a steel case to a light but strong titanium chassis. Samsung inadvertently hinted at the Pro name in its Health app, although we haven't seen any further clues since. The regular Galaxy Watch 5 isn't expected to be quite as big of a departure, so you should expect a very familiar, minimal, and fitness-oriented device, similar to what we've seen in the past. Sam Mobile floated a rumor that the wristwatch could have a 10% larger battery than its year-old counterpart, but it's unknown if that will translate into actually improved longevity. It's also still unclear if Samsung is going to add any new processors or any new sensors that could affect that battery life. You may also have to pay more than you might expect. WinFuture's Roland Quant heard in June that the regular Galaxy Watch 5 would start at around €300 or around $306 for a 40mm Bluetooth model and top out at around €400 or $409 for a 44mm LTE unit. For the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, because titanium is more expensive than steel and aluminum, that could bump up the price to around €490 or about $502 for a 45mm Bluetooth model, or around €540 or $552 for its LTE equivalent. As for audio, the basic Galaxy Buds 2 premiered at last year's Unpacked, and Samsung might follow that up with a higher end option this year. Evan Blast and 91 Mobiles recently posted renderings of what they say are the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. Cosmetically, the true wireless earbuds will look nearly the same as the existing Galaxy Buds Pro, which were introduced in January 2021. 9to5 Google sources claim that you might get new 24-bit audio support, and there have been murmurs of a larger battery as well. Otherwise, Samsung might play it safe with familiar active noise cancellation and multi-device pairing support. Just be ready to pay a little bit more too. A tipster that spoke to 9to5 Google says that the new Galaxy Buds Pro 2 could cost around $230, which is $30 more than the previous model. While that still makes them more affordable than rivals like the AirPods Pro, which cost $249, you might not save much by spring for Samsung's new in-ear headphones. As for any potential wildcards, while we wouldn't rule out any surprises for Samsung's Unpacked event, we're not expecting to see any either. There haven't been any signs of any upgrades coming to the standard Galaxy Buds 2, and because Samsung already updated the Galaxy A and S series phones this year, those don't seem in line for any upgrades either. But what about you? Is there some dark horse device that you're hoping to see Samsung update? Let us know in the comments down below, and of course, stay tuned to Engadget for more news, hands-on, and coverage from Samsung's Unpacked event next week.